DMA or dynamic memory allocation is very useful in practical applications. Let's take an example. You have to store product data in an array, but you are not sure how many products will be entered by the user. If you know there are 10 values, you may declare int products of 10, and this will store 10 values. But if user enters 5 values, rest of the 5 locations are wasted, and if user wants to enter 15 values, then you are short of 5 memory locations. So in such cases, you should have a provision where you can decide the size of storage at runtime, and that is what we call as the DMA or dynamic memory allocation. The malloc or memory allocation function allows you to create memory at runtime. Let's practically see that. For example, you want to store 3 integer values using malloc, then the syntax of it will look like this. First of all, you will have a pointer variable which will act as the base address, and then we put an equal to, and then we call the malloc function, and inside the malloc function you pass the total bytes of storage that you want, or you can also write the number of memory locations into the size of each location in bytes. So let's move on with the example. First, I will declare a pointer through which the new memory locations will be created. Now I will write the malloc function. So ptr is equal to malloc. Now I need to typecast it to whatever type of data I want to store in these newly created locations. So I will write int star here. Now here in the malloc, we do not know how many values the user wants to enter. So let's get that. I will declare a value counter, that is val_cnt variable, and get the value from the user. Now I can write the space required in malloc. So I will say val_cnt into 4. Here 4 is for the space occupied by each integer. Now instead of writing 4, if someone is using a 32-bit OS, then the int might take 2 bytes only. So in that situation, it is better to use the size of function, which will return the size of int. Now we need to get the values from the user and display them. So let me put a loop here that will take val_cnt number of values. I will have a counter variable int cnt is equal to 0, cnt less than val_cnt, and cnt++. And now let me write the input statement. Now the cin statement will have the value entered stored at the ptr plus cnth location. Keep in mind that we cannot write ptr++ because we need to have the reference of the base location which is stored only in ptr. So it's important to keep the ptr immutable. Similarly, let me write the loop for displaying the values entered as well. Let me copy this. And instead of these lines, I will say cout ptr plus cnt. Now we are done with the code. Let's run it. Let me say I want to enter 4 values. So now it's asking me to enter the values. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. And it displays all the 4 values as well. Let's rerun it. Now let's say I want to enter only 2 values. So it will ask me only twice. So this is how you can implement DMA or dynamic memory allocation in your code.